I'm Vickie Pizzarelli, broker associate with Engel Völkers. Before I came to Engel Völkers, I owned my own franchise. I had two offices, one in Plainville, Massachusetts, and one in Cranston, Rhode Island. During quarantine, I went independent and had left the franchise, and I had my own business, my own brokerage. What I learned from having my own brokerage was the fact of things that you needed to do to teach agents what they needed to do to be successful. And I helped guide quite a few agents over the years of the past 8 years of doing that. And now it's my time to do what I preach. I'm trying to show everybody that it can be done, no matter where you're starting. And I did take a step back for a while from selling actively. I did sell while I had my brokerage, but I was taking a step back managing the brokerage, and now I'm diving back deep into sales. I was a floral designer. I had my own flower shop called Pocket of Posies. My specialty was wedding work, and I also did a little bit of interior design where I help people make their home look nice with what they had instead of bringing new stuff in. And that might have been painting furniture, moving stuff around. I think that's a great aspect that I have to offer homeowners or buyers, to give them the vision of how their home could look like, or the home that they're buying and what they could do with the home that they're buying. Because sometimes people get a little stuck and they don't understand what they can do with a home. They don't have the vision. Sometimes they see a wall painted a funky color and they don't realize it's just paint. They see the way the seller has their furniture placed, but they don't realize the room could look a lot bigger with better placement. So I think that's another aspect I can offer people. Things started to turn around with COVID. I decided I wanted to take a step back from the leadership role, and I decided to look into other brands that were in the area, and I really was intrigued with what Joe and Emilio were doing with Engel Völkers, and I liked the brand. I liked the modern aspect that it had. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into the luxury market as well. And we really do have a great group of people. After managing for so many years of a brokerage, I could kind of tell when I'm around a good group of people or not. And I have to say, the people that work here are all collaborative and they work together, and it's just nice to be around a great group of professionals. What I love about Engel Völkers marketing is it just takes it up to that next level. We have the GG magazine, which is really a great global magazine to hand out to clients. Our welcome package to sellers and buyers that we give them. The marketing, the social media presence we have, I just really am impressed with it. I also wrote a book for homeowners and for buyers, so I also add that into my swag bag when I give it to my clients when I meet them. So I wanted to go to Engel Völkers because I knew that they had the presence in the area, and I'm also upping my game. I've gotten into new construction properties, and I'm really starting to focus a lot in that, as well as helping homeowners move on. I've been dealing with a lot with senior citizens, particularly helping them move on and sell their homes. In the market that we're in right now, we're getting a lot of seniors that are selling, but they also have to buy. So I service pretty much all of Rhode Island. I am licensed in Massachusetts, and I service southeastern Massachusetts. I do like to do the listing end of it, but I do help buyers. I do find when I do list properties, I have an upper edge on a lot of the agents, because back in the foreclosure market, I did do a lot of foreclosures. I pretty much was focused at that point on foreclosures, as everybody was, but I also did the valuations for the bank properties. That really gives me an upper edge on how to really value a property like an appraiser would. Not to say that I am an appraiser, but I do know how it works. And when I usually give a number on how much a property is worth, I'm pretty much on target. What I like to do when I get a client is I like to get to know them. So I might ask you a few questions as far as like birthdays, anniversaries, things that you like to do. I do love when I go see a property to list it, I like the seller to take me through the property and give me an idea of why they like the home and why they like the area. And I want them to show me the house like I was the buyer, so I can get a better idea how to sell their lifestyle in their home. What I'd like to do moving forward is expand my reach. I'm considering getting my Connecticut license. I would eventually, besides selling, I'm looking into coaching as well, do real estate coaching, so I'm training for that currently to help other agents grow. I see there's a big lack out there for newer agents to learn this industry, because there's such limited hands-on education, I should say, for agents outside of what our boards give us. Sometimes you just need to be there and constantly listen to the issues the agents are having, and I really enjoy helping people in that aspect too. What I like about being in this industry is just helping people. I've kind of, from being in the management role for so long, you kind of step away from helping as many people as you want to because you're busy helping agents. So it's kind of nice to get back into it and boots on the ground and helping people again. So I'm really enjoying it again. And I think with my experience, I believe that I'm more in tune with clients and I'm not as nervous as I was earlier in my career. I feel I'm more confident, I would say. My favorite part of helping people in this industry is helping them move on or make new beginnings. I always say you never realize what a client has going on in the back end of their life outside the transaction. And usually when you see an issue happening or people getting very sensitive, it's usually because there's something happening behind the scenes. And it's always nice to be a part of their journey to home ownership or selling their home, to see them move on or start a new journey. For instance, I had this wonderful lady I was helping. I didn't know all the trauma that was happening in the back end till the day of the closing. And she literally broke down crying that she was so relieved it was all over and she was buying a new home. And it was actually the first home she bought on her own since the 80s. She was an older woman and it was just nice to help her, and knowing that all she had going on in the back end of her life, that I was able to make it a little bit easier for her.